Hello YouTube, this is Froogle and here we are with something completely different. This is Spintires. Now Spintires is a game, but it's also a very heavy simulation. Now it's a simulation of off-roading, so how vehicles interact with a fairly hostile environment in terms of mud, water, rocks, steep inclines and stuff like that. So that's where the sim aspect is in, really managing how to get your vehicle across those different types of terrain, and it's a pretty cool sim of that, but it is also a game. There is no cockpit or cabin view within this. It's very much looking over the shoulder, but don't let that detract you. As simulations go, this one is pretty awesome. Now, it was developed by OoVee. Did I even mention the name of this? Hello YouTube, this is Froogle and here we are with something completely different. This would be Hello YouTube. Hello YouTube, this is Froogle. And here we are with something completely different, and that would be Spintires from OoVee. Now, Spintires was originally a technology demo that was done for Intel. I actually won a prize for its simulation, there's my cat, for its simulation of the real-world environment, and in particular off-roading in it. So watching an off-road vehicle claw its way through mud and over rocks and through water barriers and stuff like that. It's since evolved over 18 months, 2 years or so, into a full game, got released earlier today on Steam. It's about $26 and it is phenomenal. The simulation aspect of this, though, is really on the interaction of the vehicle with the terrain, and are you able to master that using all the same principles that you would in the real world. Don't think of this as simulation, though, in terms of, oh look, it's an actual cabin, this is what the actual cabin of this actual truck looks like. It's not like that, but it is very, very deep in other areas. Let me go into play here, show what we got. There is a multiplayer mode. It's a new game, not a lot of lobbies out there right now, but I expect them to grow quite a lot, and multiplayer is actually very important in this because you have missions to do. For example, you might need to drive across some really rough terrain to a logging camp, pick up some logs, and then transport those logs to a processing station, okay? In doing so, you may get stuck. You may tip over. The weight of the cargo you're carrying may tip you over. Having somebody else in the game with you who can come and recover you, pull you out of a ditch and get you back on your way, or even repair your vehicle, is very, very useful. We're going to play it in single player mode. There are two modes of single player, casual and hardcore. In hardcore, you have some constraints, like your fuel consumption is far more realistic. You can't engage the diff lock if you're using an automatic gearbox, so you have to use the manual gearbox if you're using diff lock, and you're going to see the manual gearbox in a minute. It's amazing. Stuff like that. And you can't rescue. You can't just reset your vehicle. We're going to go casual. Even casual, this game is brutal. 5 maps at release, more to come. We're going to play initially, I think. Let's go on to... let's take a look at the river. We'll start at the river, casual game, and I'll show you what you've got. Now, controls are a bit weak in this. I'm playing with an Xbox controller. You can also use the keyboard. There's no support yet for a steering wheel. To be honest, I don't see that as a problem. Again, it's not really a simulation of driving as it is of the interaction between a vehicle and the world it's in. So using a gamepad or keyboard isn't really a big deal. Get over it. Now, we're currently using this little truck on the right, little old thing here, and it's got a tractor or what do you call that? I don't know what you call that, but it has a tractor installed so I can attach trailers to it, which obviously changes the weight and the ability of this vehicle. We're not going to do that. We're actually going to change the vehicle completely, and the way we do that is down here. You click on Advanced, and then we can stop the engine, change the truck. We're going to take out this Russian A469 Jeep type thing. I'm going to put a trunk on top. There's the trunk. That lets me repair. Now you'll see that I can take up to 300 damage. It's currently pristine, brand new with 0 damage. If I do sustain damage, then I can stop and I can use this repair trunk on top to repair my vehicle. Now in terms of the gaming aspects, here's the map. And you'll see there are these blacked out areas where you can't see anything. Now the way to progress is obviously to complete missions. So I'm going to need to get up to the lumberyard, probably change a vehicle. There's probably a vehicle up there waiting for me. Change into that, pick up some lumber, and then take it to the objective here in order to complete objectives, complete missions, and that's going to open up extra add-ons for my vehicles as well as extra vehicles. The different maps that you play on also give you different preset vehicles out of the gate. So on this map, it's just that old beaten up blue truck and the little Ural type thing, or UAV type thing. On the other maps, they're very, very different. They can vary considerably. Let me get out of the map. We have to go that way and that way, so north-ish. We're not going to make it. I'll show you why. I want to show you some cool stuff. So right now, I'm in first gear. This is my gearbox down here. I'm using the manual gearbox, but if I press the right stick on my controller, now I can actually go and slide that stick around and select gear 1 plus, for example, you know, ultra low torque or whatever it is. Low power, high torque. I don't know the difference. I actually have a Jeep, but I don't take it off-road very much. We're going to put it right about there, which is, or there, which is basically automatic. So, let's start the engine. Whoops, wrong button. Now you have lights. You can turn the lights on and off. There is an accelerated day-night cycle in this, so you won't always be driving in lovely daytime. It will become nighttime. This vehicle also has a winch, so when it gets stuck, as it will shortly, you can use the winch to try to get you out. You'll also notice down here, diff lock on all wheels. Locking the diff basically forces the wheels to spin at the same speed. Normally, diffs are unlocked, so when you're driving your road car around a corner, the inside wheels are obviously going a little bit slower than the outside wheels. Locking the diff gives you a bit more grip. It can damage the vehicle if you use it too much though, or unnecessarily, like on a tarmac road. Also increases fuel consumption, same for all-wheel drive down the bottom there. But I'll show you what happens if you don't use them out of the gate here. So this is wet mud. They don't do a very good job at representing wet mud in the game, but you basically see these tracks and you know, this is an obstacle that's going to cause me problems. It's quite deep wet mud, as you can see from these ruts going through the middle of it, so I am likely to get stuck. Let's carry on in two-wheel drive. Look, you can see there's the diff. That left wheel at the rear is not turning. You know the right one is. You can kind of see it through the window. And now we're stuck. So what we do now is we'll lock the diff. Good idea in a real world to stop when you do that, as I just did. With the diff locked, we get a bit more traction, until eventually we run into the deep mud and the vehicle will stop completely and basically sink. Oh, that's a rock. Try not to drive over those, they get stuck under the sump, making you remain in one place. Still in two-wheel drive, it's a pretty handy little off-road thing. This Russian Jeep alike. But now we're stuck. So let's try and put the parking brake on, all-wheel drive, parking brake off. No. Try and reverse a little bit. Now I am actually intentionally trying to get stuck here. Before you start banging out those comments right now. We actually might not get stuck, but I was trying to. Good. So there we are now, completely stuck. So what you can do, this is the camera by the way, you can shift the camera around, but it's a little awkward. It kind of wants to go to preset positions a lot. It can be a bit of a royal pain. See, look at that. Ooh, stop it until you get used to it. Just bear that in mind. I'm going to go into advanced mode. If I move the mouse now, you'll see these towing points. You see that? I can use these to attach the winch on the, let's call it a Jeep, to something in the scenery. So this little sapling up here, not a good idea, or this larger tree up here. Let's try that. So with that attached, make sure we're in forward. We're in first gear, diff lock's on, all-wheel drive is on. Let's set my wheels straight, and I'm going to activate the winch now with the F key on my keyboard, F for Freddy, and hit the gas. Now you can see, it's a deformable landscape. You can destroy small saplings. Larger trees will hurt you. And brake. That's how we get out of stuff. So now, let's go into advanced mode again. Release the winch. Ba-doing. And the winch is accurate as well in how it's simulated. You saw it there. If I hadn't applied gas, it will go slack. It will stop being as effective. Now obviously this is a water fjording exercise we've got to do here. There's some large rocks on the right. They could get stuck under the central plate of my vehicle, so we don't want to do that. We will try to go through at an angle and tackle the small slope at an angle as well. What happened? Oh, parking brake. Let's turn that off. No, but we're not taking damage. The vehicle does have a snorkel attached, you can see it up here. So you can go into very deep water with the water coming over the hood of the car without suffering too much. The snorkel will keep you going. That's obviously managing the exhaust. So once again, advanced mode. Let's find a towing point, which will be that one. Change the camera around. Where should we go? Where should we go? Well, that's on the front of the vehicle. I probably actually don't want to do that. I probably want to be on the back of the vehicle. So let's try that one. And let's pull ourselves out backwards. So brake off. Let's go rear wheel drive and... oh! Now the physics even comes down to things like, you're not seeing it so much on this, but if you're transporting a heavy load of logs, they will shift and roll and really upset the balance of your truck. You've got to be aware of stuff like that. And obviously the physics you just saw, getting stuck in mud, the resistance that a wall of water in front of your vehicle will cause, that is all very, very accurate and simulated, which is why this is on the Froogle Sim channel, even though it's not technically a sim. You know what I mean? It's all things sim. I'm going to get that thing stuck under my wheels. Let's see if we can go around the water. There's that awful camera, and I just got some damage. Not cool. I don't know if we're going to be able to go around that. We're going to slide into the water, though. Let's try it. Come on. Up, 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 up. Yes! Let's try to cross this lot diagonally, not get stuck in the ruts, as it were. That worked. It's a bit of a slalom going on now. Again, trying not to get stuck in the ruts, but use the peaks of these deep mud ruts as traction as much as we can. Just going straight down here would not be a success. So we'll try to zigzag it until eventually we'll run out of steam, which is about now. And I think that's because of the rocks once again. But that's pretty much where I want to be. So let's just go to advanced mode. We will start winching. That one up there. Good stuff. Out of advanced mode. Activate that winch. This could cause us some damage, obviously. Very good. Parking brake on. Advanced mode, deactivate the winch. We're good. We've only suffered 9 out of 300 damage, so we're doing pretty good. I'm pretty happy. Let's try to continue. Why am I stuck now? Oh, parking brake. I gotta stop forgetting that. Ah, camera for the win. Where are you? No, I really want to be going down that road. Bit of a slide there. I don't know how successful we're going to be at going down the road, but that's fine, because I also want to show you one of the other maps and some of the other vehicles. One thing I've not been able to do for my redneck Florida cousins here is a nice flex shot. Oh, see if we can get a flex shot going on. No, no flex. No flex! We can get stuck on a rock. That would be cool. Up you get. Up you get. Come on! It's not going to let me flex. You get the idea. I'm getting far too carried away with this. Let us get out of here, and we'll go into the main menu, and we will choose one of the other maps. I can show you the different vehicles. So now if we go play, and this time I'm going to choose the hill. Actually, that's a good one. Start game, and you'll see some new vehicles in here, which are very, very good. Very exciting. Good view of what's to come. So here we are with this monster beefy truck. I can change into the big wheels, which I'm going to do. Boom. They're slightly underinflated to give us more traction. Now, there's a ton of options on this. Currently, we have installed the utility attachment. That would be that thing. I can uninstall it, which turns it into a very basic truck, a lot lighter. With that done, I can put the trailer attachment on, or the tractor attachment. There we go, which would let me tow stuff. And from there, I can go and attach all sorts of lovely stuff, like a cart with a crane. Actually, that's kind of cool. Let's take the tractor off. Let's put the cart with the crane on. There we go! Now we have a cart with a crane. You have this menu up because we are in a garage. So let's get out of the garage. I'm going to let's put all-wheel drive on. We'll leave the diff lock off for now. Much heavier vehicle, much more satisfying to drive. Right, so now with that, we can actually move the crane grappler. Like so. It takes a little getting used to. This is actually my first time. So you got up, down, left, right. It's swinging around a little bit. And I think, there you go. You got anchors on the side which you can extend. You can position the anchors as well. You can push the anchors. Very helpful if you get stuck. You can then activate the crane grab, for example. Oh, and then we can do that again and pick stuff up. It is very, very, very much fun. Like this a great deal. Nothing here that I could really pick up though. But you get the idea, right? Even to the point of extending upwards. That would be the left stick. And then the right stick is for your rotation. Your left stick is for extending and retracting it. Pretty cool. Actually, first time I've done that. So let's restore the crane. Restore. Let's come out of advanced mode. Oh no, I need to get rid of my anchors. There we go. Come out of advanced mode. Let's look at our map. Okay, so we are here. Aha, looks like a bridge that we need to cross further down here, and then a second bridge there. Let's see how we do. Bridges are cool. Again, the focus of the game here is on the simulation of your interaction with the environment. So crossing a rickety old wooden bridge is always a nerve-wracking experience. I can see the bridge already. Okay, so we're starting to get stuck. So stop, diff lock. There we go. Alright, there is the aforementioned rickety old bridge. Let's try and get ourselves positioned, and I will change the camera angle after putting the parking brake on. Now this is the challenge, is driving it backwards. So everything is reversed. If I want to go that way up... Okay, I got it. Now one thing I don't like about this, even though I'm playing on an Xbox controller, slight trigger presses for the gas do not translate into slight gas. That's a bit of a problem. Look at that, you see all the logs moving? How cool is that? Now I think there's another bridge down here. But yeah, that control issue is a bit of an issue. I don't like the camera either. What I do like is the physics. I love how well simulated the physics is, and I love the fact that from other videos I've seen, there is a thriving modding community already gearing up to deliver some greatness in this. I saw a couple of videos of guys driving replica Ford F-150s and Dodge Rams, which is too cool. There's a bridge right there. So I think, given the modding aspect of this, this game has a very, very long life ahead of it. Let's turn the lights on, see where we're going. Alright. This one is very, very delicate. Be careful! Wow. And you can see the attachments on the back of the truck there waving around. That's the physics simulation once again kicking in. It is so cool. So satisfying. Of course you can drive this like a complete idiot and just crash into everything and try to go as fast as you can. Not a good idea. You do have limited fuel. You do take damage very quickly. You will get stuck very, very quickly if you're not paying attention. So that's the river that we just crossed. So probably not a good idea to try and drive down the river. The bridges were there for a reason. It is much more satisfying to take your time and really think about, how can I get up this hill? How can I traverse this particular boggy spot? You know, and then use basic off-roading principles like never go directly up a hill, always go at a slight angle if you can. Try to maintain speed through a water barrier, all sorts of things like that, and try to do things as realistically as possible. And like any sim, the more realistic you treat it, I think the more rewarding the experience is. Now we have a choice. Let's go this way. Another thing I would like to have seen in this, and I'm sure somebody will mod it in, is a replay mode. There is currently no replay mode. And sometimes you'll pull off a particularly amazing recovery, like not falling over there, and you'll want to see it replayed. And maybe saved for posterity. I hope they do put a replay mode in. In many respects, I see this much like, is it Lunar Command? Oh gosh, I can't remember the name of it. The Space Lander sim that I have, which over time really grew and grew to support the community with things like Track IR support, Oculus Rift support, replays. I'm hoping this goes the same way. I hope this has a long life ahead of it. Anyway, I'm pretty much at the end of the road here, so I should probably stop this video. Oh, there's a... what is that? See, camera's stuck, but there's a building or something. You see it? There. I should try to make my way over there, but I've no idea how. Those trees look suitably immense. Small saplings are not a problem. Oak trees, however, are. There we go. Oh wow. Oh, there's a jeep. See what I mean? As you explore the map, you start to unlock other things. So this is, where am I on the map? Where am I? Where am I? I'm there. It's not actually marked on the map, so it's not a garage, but it might be. Garages are for repairing, refueling. It could be. The challenge is getting this monstrous truck over there. Let's try and go around these trees here. Alright, let's probably turn that diff lock off now. And there's something down there as well. Look, look, there's lights in the distance. I wonder what that is. It is! It's a lock, so we've unlocked the Jeep on this level. Or the UAV, or whatever you wish to call it. That is unlocked. It's not a garage though. It's just an unlock point. So that's really the game. You know, it's exploring like that, finding things, unlocking, completing your missions. It is such a cool title. It is well worth getting hold of. It's pretty cheap. As always, my name is Froogle. If you have not already, head on over to Facebook and like us on Facebook. But of course, also look at the brand new forums, which are forums.frugalsim.com. I'm probably going to be announcing in there fairly soon, looking for people to come do a multiplayer session in this very game with. As always, my name is Froogle. See you soon, guys. Thanks.